How will the current stimulus package impact and benefit you? That's today's video. Hey everyone, Matt here, back for another Blind to Billionaire video. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. All right, let's get right into it. Today is Monday, July 27th, and there's the current stimulus package being negotiated in Congress right now, which also includes some very interesting details that will impact you, me, and the people. So let's get right into it. I've compiled a little list here, and we want to get right into the information. Now, I just want to say this. The details of this package are going to be released later this afternoon. So I'm going to be watching closely because I've been waiting for this, as everybody has been for several months now. But let's get into a couple things that we know are going to be included and will be very impactful. Now, this stimulus package includes a lot of different details, but let's be completely honest. Not many people care about a lot of the stuff like funding to schools, funding to local, state governments. I mean, honestly, nobody really cares about that. Let's talk about how it's going to impact us, the people. First, let's talk about the stimulus check. This is an important one. Why? Because everybody has been wondering, is the stimulus check coming? Are we getting a second one? Who's going to be included? Again, those details should be released this afternoon, and I'll be watching it closely, so be on the lookout for another video from me later today. But let's talk about this first stimulus check. We know it's going to be included in the stimulus package, so what about it? We know that the proposal is the $1,200 plus the $500 for dependents. All parties have agreed that this is going to be in there, and those are the starting points. So they're starting at the $1,200 for the adults and the additional $500 for dependents. Now, they could potentially negotiate that a little bit higher. We'll have to see. It could be exciting, but we know probably at an absolute minimum we'll probably do the $1,200 plus the $500 for dependents. Again, what's up for grabs right now and what is up for negotiation, which we don't know those details quite yet, but will adult dependents be included this time? Last time, unfortunately, all of you who are adult dependents were left out, which encompasses a large percentage of people, especially here on this channel, which is, I feel like, so unfortunate that you were left out. So we will see, are those people going to be included on this next stimulus check? Next, child support. A lot of people have been asking, will child support be able to surrender my check once again? Again, we don't know those details. We will know that probably later this afternoon. If not this afternoon, this week sometime. We'll talk about that. Next, college students. As many of you know, college students were omitted from the first stimulus check. Again, why would people in college be omitted from this? I don't get it. This whole thing, this whole issue right now with the virus that's going on, it's impacting everybody, not just select groups of people. So why to omit certain people doesn't make any sense to me. Doesn't make any sense. Lastly for the stimulus check anyway, is the dependent payments, like I just alluded to just a minute ago. There has been talk that there could be an additional boost to the dependent payments from the original $500 in the first check. They've been talking about possibly bumping that up to $1,200 for dependents, which would be massive. On the first stimulus check, the dependents, the family max was $3,900, assuming 2 adults and 3 children. So it was $1,200 per adult plus an additional $500 per dependent, came out to $3,900. If the dependents gets that boost this time, it could potentially be a family max of up to $6,000. That'd be huge. An additional up to potentially $2,100. So we'll see how that whole thing shakes out and how they negotiate this out. But just remember, this is all starting points. This is where they're starting from, just like any negotiation. The seller likes to start high, the buyer likes to start low. Eventually they meet in the middle. Same thing here with Congress. Democrats start high, Republicans start low, and they work their way down and up, and they meet somewhere in the middle where everybody is somewhat happy. I mean, side note, are Congress people ever happy? Whenever you see these people on the news, they always seem like they're pissed off. So I don't know. Maybe they're never happy. I don't know. They seem like a pretty unhappy and kind of a grumpy group of people, in my opinion. All right, next we're talking about an extension of the eviction moratorium. Why is this so important? Because if you are a tenant, or you know someone a tenant, or just anybody who is a tenant, with the with the expiration of this eviction moratorium, that potentially makes someone who hasn't been paying their rent potentially vulnerable to an eviction notice. That's scary. A lot of people haven't been able to pay their mortgages and their rent over the last few months. So if you're one of those people, or you know somebody, or just anybody in general who hasn't been able to pay their rent, potentially, as it stands, that has expired. So if this doesn't get an extension, we could potentially be seeing a lot of eviction notices being served, which would be very scary. So we're looking at a potential extension of the eviction moratorium, which would be great. Hopefully pushing that out a few more months, allowing people to get back on their feet and kind of claw their way back. I know this is a tough time. It's scary out there. Also, lastly, one thing I want to talk about is the unemployment. People have been asking me about the unemployment, the federal kicker. As we know, the $600, it expired last Saturday, a couple days ago. On Saturday, it expired. So now that extra $600 kicker is no longer there if you're receiving unemployment. So how will that affect people? Well, all of a sudden their unemployment benefits are going to go from probably, however much it's going to be, probably around $1,000 for most people, probably down to just a couple hundred now without that federal kicker. So they're negotiating. How are we going to do this? Are we going to extend the 600? Are we going to give you a fraction, like a percentage of your wage? How are we going to do this? So again, that's up for grabs. We will see how this thing shakes out. Again, out of all these topics, I think the stimulus check and the eviction moratorium are for sure going to be in there. I mean, no big deal. I think the big sticking point here is the extension of the unemployment benefits. I think that's going to be a huge arguing point between both parties, because Democrats want to extend at the $600 level through the end of January of 2021. And Republicans say, no, that's just incentivizing people to not go out and go return to their job or find a job. So I get it. I don't know. I kind of go back and forth. I feel like an extension would be great, but at the same time, I feel like, I don't really know. At the same time, do you really want to be out searching for a job during this time? I don't know. It's kind of scary. I mean, do you really want to be out in public more than you need to be? Probably not. And lastly, how many businesses are really hiring right now? I mean, I get it. Amazon is looking for people in their warehouses and delivery drivers because Amazon's killing it right now. But other than Amazon, who else is hiring? Anyway, all these details should be released later this afternoon or throughout this week, but we will get a lot of new information this afternoon as they release their proposals. So this will be exciting. I'll be back this afternoon with the latest updates. So enjoy your Monday, everybody. Again, if you're watching this, hit the subscribe button down below and leave any comments or questions.